Hi everyone, this is my case study for Truman Elementary. Um, we'll start off with what do I know? I know that Truman Elementary School is a pre-K through 8th grade school. It's the largest school in the district. There's 3 sections per grade level, and 7th and 8th grade are in teams. There's one class of pre-K. 15% are free and reduced lunches, and only 5% are English language learners. The school and the district surrounding community is a suburb of a Midwestern mid-sized city. There's 4 elementary schools, and each school has 500 to 700 students each. Perceptions of Truman at this point are parents have a lot of concerns about the reading program. There's no spelling program, there's no phonics program, and teacher effectiveness seems to be lacking, and enrichment is not happening for kids that need it. The reading supervisor observation showed that teachers are using the basic program on an average of 60 minutes per day. They're only teaching whole group reading, very little small group, if any. Also, very little specific skills and strategy teaching for students. Instruction is not aligned with research-based methods. What do I need to know? What is the basal program exactly? What are assessments being used by my teachers and district? What progress monitoring is being done? What small groups and interventions are available? When, where, and how are teachers using the data? And are there coaches available for my school and my district? What are scores compared with the district and state scores over the years? What are scores compared with the amount of new staff? I need some teacher demographics. I've only been here for 2 years. What are demographic changes in the area? The problem at Truman Elementary is that curriculum and teaching strategies are not aligned with standards, rigor, or relevance that research shows students need, causing state testing data to be of concern, and parents are concerned. My plan of action: develop a leadership team consisting of teachers, specialists, and administration. I'm going to conduct an analysis of where in the standards the students' gaps are using data from beginning, middle, and end of the year. Will need to be analyzed to find where students are lacking in skills exactly. Surveys will be sent out to parents, staff, and students to form some extra perceptions data. Evaluation of the basal currently being used in the school is going to happen. We're going to gather some research on other schools that are functioning at a higher level and what they're doing. We're going to reconstruct the reading schedule. We're going to give adequate time for whole group reading, at least 60 minutes of instructional time, and we're going to provide some small group time for every kid, 30 minutes of instructional time. We're also going to communicate the plan to parents and the community through the PTO and the school website. We're going to fill out the grant application for some extra help. And of course, we're going to have some continuous improvement, including opportunities for teachers for professional development, specifically in reading instruction. We're going to start some data dialogue and protocols for teachers to meet with data coaches once a week. Teachers should also have the opportunity to visit other classrooms in the school, around the district, and wherever reading is happening effectively. Coaches and administration should give their teachers support and help them reflect on their instruction. What is best for students? Students at Truman Elementary are showing at-risk reading scores. The parent-teacher organization has shown concern, as well as the reading supervisor, that was called in to observe. Through the plan that I have outlined, I believe that students at Truman can close the gap. The teachers at Truman are in need of professional development, data analysis guidance, and evaluations in order to be effective for their students. I would put together a team to present data patterns and start a data dialogue in order to help our teachers and therefore our students. Coaches would be put in place to help teachers see value in the data and make flexible small groups for reading. More individualized reading instructions will help students become more successful readers. So what's the resolution? The building schedule will be revised so that the following can occur. Students will receive 60 minutes of whole group reading instruction, including phonics and research-based reading strategies. Students will also receive 20 to 30 minutes of differentiated, individualized reading instructions provided by teachers, specialists, and enrichment staff. And progress monitoring will be done weekly for the highest needs students. We'll also be doing that data dialogue with our coaches once a week. As I read about Truman Elementary, I really worry that there are schools that are in the same situation. Reading instruction should be the number one focus for an elementary school. I'm also thinking about training, evaluation, professional development. Are the teachers here getting that? And what about me? What is the professional development that administration is getting? With a low amount of free and reduced lunch and low ELL, it would seem that teacher training is a large part of the problem, that it's not necessarily something coming from demographics. This will be a long and difficult process. It's going to take a lot of people with a lot of passion. I'm grateful for what I have in my actual district. I feel like we're flexible. We have research-based programs. We get professional development when needed. The mentors that I've had have really taught me to value data. They've also given me constructive criticism to help improve my teaching and confidence to try new things. We really seem to be on the right track data-wise. What issues still need to be resolved? So some questions that I had just in this area: has everything been done to help the students? What financial needs do we have? What needs to be done if the grant is not accepted? I worry that we're not a low SES school, so that could happen. What about the students who will be leaving the school without having a good grasp on reading? I worry about those 7th and 8th graders who are moving on but may not have what they need. What will we see as things change? Will math continue to thrive? And how will continuous communication, and how will we gather data from stakeholders? So for continuous improvement for families and community, I reported that I will continue to report at PTO meetings. I will have and will continue to update the website on student improvement. We will continue doing parent surveys once a quarter. We're also going to send out surveys to stakeholders and the community. I'm going to have a social media leader, just keep that information up to date as a relevant way for communities and parents to be involved. We're going to give opportunities for parents to be at the school and involved with their kids' education and volunteer. And we're really just going to set goals, and as we meet them, celebrate them. Using the data, I'm going to use the data that was given to come up with a plan. I took new data and formed a team to analyze this data. I started dialogue to build data into our culture, and I shared all goals, data, and updates with stakeholders of the school. How did I use policies, laws, and regulations? I used my knowledge of policies to determine grant eligibility. I reviewed district and state recommendations of allotted times for reading instruction, and I held professional development opportunities that aligned with standards and how to use the standards effectively with rigor for all students. Ongoing dialogue with stakeholders. I have and will continue to update the website. We're going to have that social media leader. We're going to have coaches. I will send out quarterly surveys to stakeholders in the community, and goals will be shared and celebrated when met. Stakeholders will be encouraged to get involved through committees and school improvement projects. Thank you for listening. I appreciate your time.